Hello! Once again! Today we are going to do, today we're going to touch on a few different things today. First off, I'm gonna do a revisit for Mountain Baker Vapor, and then I also want to touch on the Lavatube version 1. Why would you do a review on the Lavatube version 1? They don't even make it anymore. I'll get into that. But first, I do want to touch back onto Mount Baker Vapor. So I obviously did the review about them, and it was, just nothing but good things to say, and it's still pretty much that way. Don't get me wrong, there's still definitely the place for me to shop at right now, mainly because of price, but there are a couple things that I want to kind of let people know about if you have not ordered from them before and you plan on doing so. So let me go ahead and take a vape of the Mount Baker Vapor Cotton Candy that I got in last week, I think. And then we'll touch on the things that are a little off about Mount Baker Vapor. All right, so there's still a lot of good things about Mount Baker Vapor. Again, the price is phenomenal. The shipping is super fast. Customer service so far seems to be great. I just had a simple question. I jumped on the live chat, asked them about that, and just answered the question right away. They also made the mistake of including the special instructions section when you place your order. The first time I asked them to include a random object near them to place in the envelope. They included a little bundle of bubble wrap, which I thought was fun. And then on this last order for the cotton candy, I asked them to draw me a picture, and they actually did it. They drew a little face with a guy wearing a hat. Terrible picture. If whoever drew it, you're not an artist. I'm sorry, but I appreciate that they actually take the time to do that, because I'm sure they're really busy, and I'm sure they get tons of stupid requests like that. And of course, I'm not going to stop giving those stupid requests because they give me the option to do it. So the one major thing that I want to touch on with Mountain Baker Vapor that is a little off-putting to me is the flavor strengths. So we now have four different flavors from them. We've gotten the strawberry shortcake, the butter pecan, we got some vanilla cupcake, and then most recently we got cotton candy. Even with steeping, they're all kind of weak flavors. I think, I'm pretty sure all of them have extra flavor shots. With the cotton candy that we just recently got, I got a 50 milliliter bottle of it, and I added 5 flavor shots. That one really hasn't had enough time to steep yet, but it's very weak. Now, obviously, I get it at more of a VG than PG mix, so that's going to mute the flavors, and then I'm using the iClear 30, which also is going to mute the flavors a little bit as well. So part of this is not them, because I have tried Mountain Baker Vapor through a cartomizer. Excuse me. I have used Mountain Baker Vapor through a cartomizer, and the flavor was great. It was nice, and it was nice. It wasn't overpowering, but it definitely wasn't weak either. So if you do plan on ordering from them and you haven't before, just keep in mind that depending on what setup you're using, what ratio of PG and VG you get, you may get muted flavors, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I'm still, like I said, going to be ordering from them because they are just that good at everything else. So that's what I wanted to touch on with them. Other than that, I haven't really noticed any other issues. Recently, they stopped selling all cinnamon flavors because of all the one study really that happened showing the toxicity of cinnamon flavors, or at least the possible toxicity of it. I've never used cinnamon flavors anyways, because I've never had a glass tank. We still have metal tanks. We have some of those metal VV Novas, but I haven't used those in a long time. And I've just, Red Hot sounds like a terrible flavor to me. The only one that I really want to try that, would be an issue is the cinnamon roll. But if you plan on getting anything cinnamon related from Mount Baker Vapor, You can't do it. There's a great post on the electronic cigarette subreddit that Mount Baker's put up, telling you which flavors they're not going to be sending out until more research is done, which I appreciate. There's a lot of concern with what are we exactly consuming by vaping. We fully understand, or at least mostly fully understand, PG and VG, the risks involved, yada yada. But it's the flavorings that kind of give you the issue, such as I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, but I believe it's pronounced diacetyl. Apparently, if there's some butter flavors as well as some, custard flavors, I think, have diacetyl in them to give you the butteriness. And there's concern that some companies use a butter flavor that contains diacetyl, and the diacetyl gives you what is known as popcorn lung, which, again, I might be incorrect here, but I believe it is the... I'm not even going to try to explain it because I know I'm going to get it horribly wrong, but something to do with your lungs. It's bad. You don't want it. Luckily, though, Mountain Baker Vapor states on the website that none of their flavors contain diacetyl, so that's good. I'm just happy to know that they're a company out there who is paying attention to these studies and isn't going to be selling people product that might be dangerous just because they know they can make a quick buck off of it. They are genuinely concerned for the people using these products. And that's very appreciative. So anyways, enough about Mount Baker Vapor and all that. Let's get on to the Lavatube version 1. Let me take a quick little puff here, and then we'll get into that. All right, so the first question you're going to be asking is, why in the hell are you doing a review for a product that's not even made anymore? Nobody's going to be buying this, yada yada. Well, just like me, there's a lot of people out there who are budget vapors, meaning I don't have the funds to go to my local shop and pick up a brand new mod. And so, for instance, the way I got this is a coworker of my girlfriend's recently bought, I believe it was either the MVP or the VTR, and this is what he was using previous. Didn't need it anymore, knew that we were vapors, and offered to sell it to us for just $30. That is, me being a budget vapor. Somebody says, "Hey, I'm going to give you a variable voltage mod for $30." There's nothing wrong with it, other than the fire button doesn't always activate, which is an issue with so many brand new mods anyways. That's not a big deal, and it's honestly, it very rarely happens anymore now that I understand, just how to get it right to make it fire every time. So I bought it, and just like me, who doesn't have the funds to get new stuff, there's probably other people who are going to be getting secondhand products, who are going to be buying, mods from their friends, or maybe somebody is going to upgrade from an older product and give it to somebody who's a current smoker and like, hey, try this, get off smoking. So there are going to be people out there, though not that many, there are going to be people out there who are going to benefit from a review of an older product, and that's why I feel that it's necessary to do it, because when, if somebody is to offer you, let's say, the Lavatube, somebody says, hey, I got a Lavatube, I don't need it anymore, do you want it? Before you just grab it and start vaping, you might want to know some details about it. So that's what this is for. So first, let's go ahead and take the iClear 30 off of this and just take a look at the product itself. So this is the Lavatube. It is a variable voltage, not a variable wattage device with the 510 connector, and then your batteries are entered in through the bottom here. I'm not sure, I'm sure you could use some adapters to put in different sized batteries in here, but the batteries that I am using are 18650s, and so I believe that that is the only battery you can use on the Lavatube version 1 is the 18650, which to me is fine. I'd much rather use a bigger battery. I have no desire to use an 18350 because I want it to I don't want to have to always be swapping batteries and putting one on the charger, and it's much more convenient to have a battery that's going to last me several days and not have to worry about it. So let's get into some of the features. Now, first off, design-wise. Design-wise, the major issue that I think most people have had with the Lavatube is it's super, super plain. There's no markings on it other than on the bottom it has the bumps to help you grip and turn, and at the top it has almost this castle tower divots in it, as you can see there. So it's very plain looking. That is definitely, for me, something that's kind of an issue, but not a big enough one to say that it's a bad mod. If I were you, and if you do end up grabbing one of these, and obviously if you're getting one from somebody, or if maybe there is a shop somewhere still selling them, you're obviously going to be getting it for cheap, so spend the extra few bucks, head over to jwraps.com or something like that, and just get yourself a nice wrap for it, because JWraps does sell Lavatube wraps. I'm sure a lot of other companies do, and that way you can kind of decorate it. I know that when we got this from my girlfriend's coworker, he had put a sticker on here that actually looked really nice. It was solid black and white. It fit perfectly. It was just the right width to fit around just once, and it was just the right height to get right underneath this button and not interfere with anything. It looked good, but it wasn't really my style. It was, I don't know, it wasn't my style, so I took it off and cleaned up the sticker gunk to make it smooth again. Let's get into the controls here. So as you can see, hopefully, there is 3 buttons. You have your red power button, a plus button, and a minus button, and then obviously your screen. This being variable voltage, not variable wattage, the control of it is simple. Press up to go up in voltage, press down to go down in voltage. If you press both the plus and minus at the same time, it will lock your voltage into place so you can't accidentally change it, though I've never needed to do that because these buttons are pretty recessed, and so I don't ever accidentally press one of these. So if you do press the button, hopefully you'll be able to see this. Ooh, maybe not. Let's see if we can get up there. Let's see. I almost had it there for just a second. You can kind of see, right now it says 4.1. It actually looks like the camera might be reversing that. Anyways, it says 4.1. That simply states what your voltage is. Simple as that. It states your voltage. You can press it up. It goes all the way up to 6 volts, and then it is a round robin, which I honestly didn't even know. So if you keep pressing the up button, it'll cycle back down to the very bottom. So the lowest you can set it to is 3 volts. The highest you can set it to is 6 volts. With a 2 ohm clear miser on here, I keep it around 4 volts. 4.2, 4.1. I never really find a sweet spot. Because sometimes I do want a little bit more throat hit. Sometimes I don't want any throat hit, so I'll drop it down to 3.8, 3.9. You're welcome. And that's that. Then obviously the power button, if you hold the power button, it will shut off. Press it again, it turns on. Or I guess, based off the reviews I saw about this, it's not a very well-known feature. If you press the power button 7 times... Yeah, if you press the power button 7 times, you can't see that, unfortunately, but it will display the essentially the battery life that's remaining. I believe a fully charged battery is 4.2, and a depleted battery is 3.2, I think. I usually charge it around 3.5 is when I'll swap out batteries. So yeah, that's a nice little feature. For me, I use that a lot. If I'm going to be going over to somebody's house or going out and doing something, and I know I won't be home until the night, I'll quickly press the button 7 times, check my battery levels, see if I should swap out the batteries now, or if I'm going to be good to go for the rest of the day. Battery life on this thing, I think, is phenomenal. I do get... I'd say probably about 5 days off one battery. And I'm not the heaviest vapor ever, but enough. If you are enough, I'd say I'm pretty average. Maybe a little bit above average. So I get about 5 days battery life off of one charge, which is great. And then also, always have two batteries because you don't want to be without this for a couple hours while your battery charges. And so as soon as it gets down, swap out batteries, and essentially there's no downtime at all. Let's see here. Other things about it, the fire button sometimes won't always fire. I don't have that problem too much anymore. I found that if I press it with the kind of the base of my thumb here, and I give it a nice firm press, it'll fire every time. Maybe once a week I'll have that where oh, it didn't fire. No big deal. Go again. And I mean, it's giving me great vapor production. The iClear 30 gives you good vapor production as well. But for being a cheap, older mod, it does great. I've never had it higher than, I think I once put it up to 5 volts and vaped it just to see what would happen, half expecting to burn out my iClear. But I really never get more than 4.5 volts. So I can't tell you how how it performs at 6 volts or 5 to 6 volts. I can't tell you if it's really hitting the 5 to 6 volts. I don't have the fancy little computer system I can plug this into and see exactly where it's hitting at compared to what the screen is telling you. So I don't know if it's 100% exact, but I do know that it does vape very well. Construction wise, I mean, it is aluminum. At least I believe that's what that is. It's metal. That's what matters, right? And it's a little light. If you take the tank off, even with the battery in it, it's heavier than an Ego, obviously. But it's not like an SVD or an SID or a ZMax. It doesn't have that weight to it. But it's not bad. The one issue I do have with it is if I feel that if I somehow dropped it on the floor, I don't know if it would survive. Even from this point, boom, onto the table, this top cap separates a little bit for me, which is not a good thing, obviously. So it's, you got to be a little careful with it. You don't want to bang it around like with the old Egos, especially with Egos being so cheap. Drop one on the ground, who cares? If it breaks, pick up another one, or fix the one that broke. But overall, I'd say it's a great little product. If I were to give this a rating on a scale, because of the looks, it's not a very attractive mod. It's tall. I have pretty big hands. It's tall. Let's see. Here is my cell phone with a broken screen for comparison. This is the Droid Razr Max, and it is almost exactly the same height as a Droid Razr Max. So it is kind of tall. Width-wise, it's not too big. Compared to like my Ring, I think my Ring is bigger. So width-wise, it's nice. It's comfortable. It feels good in the hand for somebody with bigger hands. But overall, I would probably give this about a 7 out of 10, maybe even a 6. It's just not, it's not going to be like the MVP, the VTR. It's definitely not going to be up to the standards of a Pro Vari or anything like that. But if you are short on money and you're vaping on a budget, this is a nice little thing to go with if that's what you happen to run into. Obviously, if you go looking for one of these, I'm sure you can find them online somewhere, but you're not going to really find these too often anymore. Even through, I believe the company is called Volcano. They're based out of Hawaii. Even through their website, you can't get a hold of these anymore. You get either the version 2 or above. But overall, it's a good product. If you find yourself getting one of these, through whatever means you do, it's good. It's going to last you a little while. I don't see this thing going out. I haven't noticed a drop in performance since I've had it, and I've had it for a couple months now, and this is the only thing I vape on. You know, my girlfriend uses the Egos, and I only use this thing. I take it with me everywhere. So this gets daily nonstop use essentially, and it's holding up very well. So yeah, that is going to be pretty much it for the Lavatube. I think the next video I'm going to do a quick review of the iClear 30 again, something everybody's heard about for the most part, but for those of you who are new vapors or maybe budget vapors, I'll do a little bit of a touch base here with the iClear 30. So let's take one last final vape, and then I'll just see you in the next video. Yeah, it's good. It's good vapor, man. Not bad at all. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There's going to be more videos here shortly. I apologize for what is happening. Look at this. Look at that. What is that? I don't know what that is. I apologize for what's happening up here. I really didn't care today. Just been hanging out. Thought I'd do a quick video. Anyways, sorry, I'm done talking. Lavatube from Volcano. If you happen to run into one for a cheap price, go ahead and get it. Keep on vaping.